to you. The Society of Quarters, our profoundly sick society. We have become the Society of Quarters. How short-term reporting made us fragile. I would like to start with a quote. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a fundamentally sick society. That comes from Jiddu Krishnamurti. We live in a society sickened by its own accounting practices. At the root of so many failures, broken grids, massive IT outages, collapses in trust in institutions, demoralized workforces lies a deceptively simple practice: quarterly financial reporting. The illusion of efficiency. Every 3 months, executives face the same demand: show growth, cut costs, deliver a number that makes the markets cheer. It doesn't matter if the move is destructive in the long term. Lay off skilled workers, fine. Cut back on winterizing energy infrastructure, no problem. Ship untested software into production. If it improves quarterly margins, it's rewarded. The result is a culture of short-term sugar highs, profit spikes that leave the system weaker each and every time. These are symptoms of a sick society. And, infrastructure fragility is part of this. Texas froze because regulators and utilities ignored repeated warnings to winterize. The money wasn't spent because it didn't look good this quarter, and people died as a result. Digital fragility. CrowdStrike published kernel level update into production without sufficient safeguards. AWS just recently tied half the internet to one region. Both failures came from cutting corners under pressure to move fast and save cost. Workforce churn. Comcast and others cycle through employees like disposable parts. Fixing churn is expensive up front, even if it pays off in the long run. Even though it pays off in the long run, quarterly reporting punishes those investments, and so Comcast has decided basically to live with the problem and do nothing to resolve it. By better incentivizing people to tolerate the stress of the job. And it is a very painfully stressful one. So they should pay them better. Innovation throttling. R&D is gutted because its returns take years. Preventive healthcare is underfunded because the benefits won't show up next quarter. Public goods are neglected because they don't pay fast enough. These aren't isolated failures, they're symptoms of the same disease. The real cost. Quarterly short-termism doesn't save money, it magnifies risk. Every time we skip prevention, the eventual disaster costs 10 times more. The AWS outage cost more than multi-region durability would have. The Texas freeze cost more than winterization would have. But the financial system only sees what's cheap today. An ounce of prevention is in fact worth a pound of cure, but quarterly reporting has trained our leaders to prevent prevention entirely. The cure: we need to end the tyranny of the quarter. This means reducing or eliminating mandatory quarter financial guidance, really requiring resilience reporting for critical infrastructure providers, tying executive compensation to long-term uptime and stability, not short-term stock price, using procurement and insurance incentives to reward durability over corner cutting. A society obsessed with quarters produces fragility, brittle grids, brittle software, brittle jobs. The cycle is predictable. Save a penny now, lose a dollar later. Pretend no one could have foreseen it. Repeat. We can do better. A healthy society looks beyond the next 3 months. It builds for the next decade. It invests in prevention, values resilience, and treats workers, infrastructure, and trust as more than disposable line items. Until we change the system of reporting that drives short-term greed, we'll keep reliving the same preventable tragedies. The Society of Quarters will keep breaking itself, and each time the cost will be more than it would have to build resilience in the first place. To be fair, many argue late-stage capitalism, but what we're looking at isn't really capitalism. We're looking down the barrel of a lot of problems caused ultimately by market leader myopia. That itself is caused by short-term guidance requirements by the SEC. An easy fix would be to change the rules so that they're not allowed to do what they're currently required to do in providing short-term guidance. ban what they currently are supposed to do, that what this would do was deprive reporters that of the information that they needed to do to make quarterly reports in the first place, and essentially put an end to the practice and rip it out at the root. It is, a stunningly simple solution to a lot of complex problems that are ultimately, the ultimate root cause of them all trace back to the same thing. It's the incentive, stupid. It's how the system, and its incentives are set up that has produced these tragic results, and it will keep doing it over and over and over again until we end this short-termism